I don't know about you, but I sure hate poison attack. So let's make a basic while loop. And let's use our poison Pokemon example. Let's say you're playing a game. Say you're playing yellow. Pikachu gets poisoned. All right. So remember, a while loop is going to run something assuming some condition is true. So let's start building the foundation that we're going to need for our loop. Let's start out with an integer. Call it Pikachu's HP. And let's make it equal, let's just say 16. Now we're going to have an integer called hurt by poison. And let's say poison hurts you 4 HP every single time it's your turn. Now we're going to set our condition. So we're going to have a boolean, which just means it's true or it's false. So bool is poisoned. And for the loop to be true, you got to be poisoned. So we're going to set it just equal to true. Now for our while loop. While is poisoned because the condition has to be true. And we set it equal to true, so it is. While is poison. All right, let's see out. Pikachu's hurt by poison. That's not good. And now, so we know what's going to happen now. It's going to lose 4 points per turn. So now we need to update our HP. So Pikachu HP is going to equal Pikachu HP minus hurt by poison. Now let's see out our new HP. That way we have a nice updated HP and we can see it after every single turn, just like you would in the game. Now, let's make an if statement. Let's give a condition to where we can break the loop. So we'll say if Pikachu HP is less than or it's equal to 0, because obviously once you hit 0, you're gonna faint. You're gonna have to get a new Pokemon or you lose the battle. Once that happens, let's say is poisoned will now become false. So now it's going to try to rerun the loop. So it's going to see this false. It's going to go back up to the while loop. And is poisonous false, so will not run the loop. It's going to exit. So we'll come down here, and now we will see out. Sorry, Pikachu, tough life. Oh no, Pikachu has fainted. Hopefully you got Charizard in the back pocket, or else you might be done. But that's a simple while loop in a nutshell. Remember, a while loop evaluates a condition, runs the loop if it's true, and then once the loop is no longer true, such as here, becomes false, and the loop will stop. So now let's compile this thing, see what happens. Control save, compile, execute. Raise this up some. So Pikachu's HP was 16. We enter the loop, it's hurt by poison, and it drops by 4 every single time until we run out of HP. Obviously the game is going to be a lot more involved than that, but this is great just learning how this loop will work. Now let's take a look at do-while loops. So what's the difference between while and do-while? A while loop evaluates a condition and then performs the loop. A do-while loop does the loop no matter what, and then evaluates a condition to see if it's going to go back and do it again. So a do-while loop will always do it at least one time, no matter what. So for this example, let's stick with Pokemon. We'll go with a furry attack example. And let's say it can attack anywhere from 1 to 3 times. And we're just going to assume that it didn't miss and all that stuff. So because it can attack 1 to 3 times, we need to add some things up top here. So we're going to include the C standard library, because you need that for srand, which is how you get random numbers. And we need C time to actually use the clock that srand and rand can set themselves to, so you don't just get the repetitive pattern over and over. All right, first things first, let's do srand time at 0. And this seeds random number generators. Now let's develop the furry attack. Let's say it does 3 points of damage. So we'll say int fury attack damage equals 3. And let's do another one. Say int fury, just do fury count. equals, now we'll make a random number between 1 and 3. So we'll do rand, leave those parentheses blank, modulo, modulo 3. Now we have to add 1. Why do we add 1? Because modulo 3 can have any value between 0, 1, and 2 because it's the remainder of whatever the clock time is you're dividing by. So we add 1, now it's 1, 2, or 3. And we also need to keep up with how many times the attack has happened. Let's do int attack count. We're going to set that to 0 to start. We need our Pokemon, so let's do int. Let's go back to using Pikachu. And let's go with 16 again. Why not? Now we can say, oh no, faux Nidoran used furry attack. What will happen? So now we're going to enter our loop. We're going to do something. That's going to happen at least one time. So we know we're going to have a loss of damage of 3. So we need to keep that updated. So our HP is now going to equal our HP minus furry attack damage. There we go. That will update our HP. And then we also need to update our attack count. So attack count plus plus. After we update our attack count, let's go ahead and let's keep track of the HP, since you can see that in between each one of the moves. See out. Pikachu's HP. Pikachu HP. Whoops. And that's it. That is your entire loop body. Most of this is about setting up all the stuff that you need in order to make things inside of it actually work appropriately. But that's your loop. But it's going to do something while something's happening. So it's going to do this loop while the attack count is less than the fury count. And that's it. Let's move this back over. There we go. Look nice and clean. Let's come down here. And how about we do kind of like in the game? See out. Hit. Let's do attack count times. Control save. Let's move this up. Let's compile. Oh no, what'd I do? Oh, I forgot. A semicolon. Got a whole thing here. There we go. We're always learning. Compile. Execute. Faux Nidoran used Fury Attack. Pikachu's HP goes down accordingly and hit 3 times. Perfect. I hope you learned a little something about while loops for this one. It's a good introductory. Hopefully it was an interesting topic.